All right. Good afternoon, everyone. The director says me that we can start and kick off this LinkedIn live event. Today we are hosting Hotelkit and Apaleo here. Let's go with a quick introduction. I myself, Luca Albano, working at Customer Alliance for 10 years now, and I'm really happy to have here Uli from Apaleo, CEO and founder, and Marius from Hotelkit, CEO and founder. So I personally lead the sales and partnership team. And today we're gonna kick off the power of integration hospitality. But before going straight into the topics and the questions, I would like to let Uli and Marius introduce themselves. So Uli, stage is yours.
Sure. Thanks so much, Luca. Hi, everybody. I'm Uli. I'm one of the founders of Apaleo in Munich. The company exists since 7 years. We are providing a PMS platform, API first, open for the hotel industry, and are in approximately 30 countries throughout Europe and the world right now with our technology.
Great.
Hello. Also from my side, my name is Marius. I'm the founder and CEO of Hotelkit. With Hotelkit, we are on the market for 12 years. It all started when I took over the hotel of my parents. I was really frustrated with the internal communication. And this is when I had this idea of it would be cool to have a platform in place where you can easily reach out to all the employees. And this is basically what we are doing, shift handovers, repair jobs, guest requests, but also have now solutions for housekeeping and facility management. We are based in Austria, in Salzburg. We are around 100 employees and serving more than 3,500 clients in 80 different countries. So welcome from my side, and I'm looking forward for the conversation.
Great. And I mean, the topic today is the power of integration, and one of the reasons why we invited Apaleo and Hotelkit, it's because Customer Alliance work closely with these two solutions as well in terms of reviews and feedback. Obviously, with Apaleo, we can automate the sending of our survey, and the team from Marius is make sure that every feedback and every review got tagged in a correct department, and then they can take action on solving the issues which are happening in terms of maintenance or housekeeping. So that has been said, obviously we are looking into what is integration today, and I will start with the first question, more into for those which don't really know what an integration is between system in the hotel. I know that we have done some tech-savvy customers, but we like also with these events to educate the market. And I will start with Marius, with Hotelkit. What are the most common pain points the hotel face when they're trying to connect different software solutions? Because that's obviously part of the game also for Hotelkit, right?
Yeah, so we started with interfaces many years ago. One must say that the situation has improved tremendously because it was really painful and a lot of work involved to have an interface in place. I think cloud-based API first solutions like Apaleo helped a lot, to put pressure on the market and to change the situation. The situation is way better than it used to be. So systems tend to be way more open, not siloing their solution anymore. And basically what happens, hotels, clients reach out to us and request an interface to any kind of solution that is out there. As we are focusing on the internal communication, we have different kind of solutions in place. We differentiate 3 different solutions. The biggest one and one where a lot of data is synced is obviously with property management systems. So we get certain data from the PMS for our housekeeping solution. So we translate the data into tasks so that room attendants know which rooms need to be cleaned, whether there is any special guest coming, whether there's anything needed to be prepared because of a special guest. So yeah, this is the PMS integration. We certainly also send back the information that the room is cleaned and that now the next guest is able to go to the and check in and go to the room. And then we have interfaces like with Customer Alliance, and there it's basically, as you have said, we have all the employees, and we can forward certain information to those employees that need this information in terms of reviews. It's, for example, when there is a very good review and there is, for example, an outstanding front office manager called Luca, and in this review, like this guy is mentioned, and we make sure that Luca is aware of this. So we get those reviews to the hotel employees, or when there is a problem, then we forward it to the maintenance team. And the third interface that we have is basically user synchronization. So we get the data from a workforce management tool, for example, and so then it's way easier and way more efficient to handle all the employee data within Hotelkit. So basically, those are the three different solutions that we have in place: property management, then those messaging and alert interfaces, and user synchronization.
Okay, and what are the main pain points when it comes that you have to describe that to an audience, right? You say, hey, okay, you have to do all of this. So what's actually, because the integration, we know it's something that makes life easier, automating, saving time, and also allocate resources. But what are the main pain points when it comes to explain that and bring that to the table, to the hotel, to the customer, to the prospect in that case?
Well, like, the pain points, I think it has improved. It used to be very cost intensive in former times. Like there were especially, very prominent PMS providers on the market, and they made it like, very complicated to get an interface. I can remember in our early days, we had to pay, I think it was 25,000 euros even to become like a partner of a very well-known property management system back then. There was no way that you could like reach out to them. We thought, okay, when we pay 25,000 euros, we get a contact person that we can talk to, and he might help us with the interface. It was the case. So with the help of third-party providers and resellers and our clients, we managed to do so. And also for the hotels, it used to be very expensive, and this changed now with solutions, cloud-based solutions and API first solutions on the market. And it helps you with synchronizing the data. Like Hotelkit, as I've said already, is the tool that is used by many different or all the employees within the hotel. It is like their main operating system. They log in on a daily basis, and this is like we help several other tools to get their data to those employees so that they can execute tasks or get the information that is needed.
Okay, and to you.
And I think, taking this maybe to a little bit of a bigger level again, when you look back at the evolution of PMS, obviously it all started with the PMS, and the PMS is today still the central place of records for the hotels. Like this is where all of the data sits. You have the transactions in there. And initially, when the first PMSs came onto the market, there started to be some integrations and interfaces. They were bespoke. They were very heavy, difficult to be done. And that was kind of two or three systems. At the time, you had a telephone system, you had a pay TV system, and a few other systems, minibar and so on, where that all started. But over the time, obviously, that became the biggest headache of the hotel industry, because you had to interface not only to 3 systems, but to 20, 30, 40 different systems, distribution, channel managers, revenue systems, and so on and so on. So when you look actually back, I would say 10 years ago, the biggest pain point was how to even integrate with all of these systems and make it consistent. And that was a pain for the apps that wanted to integrate, but also for the PMSs, how to maintain and keep the standards. And then the next level was achieved when the first APIs came onto the market. So the PMSs, especially the cloud PMSs, were saying, Now we have to actually open up even further. Some made it easy. Some of the older PMSs, legacy PMSs, it's still very tough. And then it was an opening up of API and the technology came onto the market. So people got used to actually access more openly the PMSs and other systems. And then I think the next evolution happened around 2015, 2016, when the technology of API first came onto the market. And API first essentially means there is no limit anymore to the openness of the platform. So when you look at the platform with API first, actually 100% of what is sitting in the platform is available to the outside world, to any app that is out there. And they can also send any data back into the platform. And that means the transparency and the openness of data is 100% there. And that also took away a lot of the pain points. The pain points, as Marius just described, were it was expensive, it took a long time, you had to wait for the PMS, you had to pay a lot of money. These times are gone forever, because the platforms actually will allow apps and developers and anybody to do it in a full self-service mode. So there is no, I have to register for integration, I have to go to the vendor and get approval, I have to pay lots of money, and then I have to wait for the API documentation, and then for the developers to be available and so on. These times are gone forever, I think.
Thanks for that. I mean, we can have an easier life into integrating different platform. I mean, we provide as well API into our connection with the portals, right, where you can manage reviews and Booking and Expedia and Google and so on. But we're really looking forward into this API next gen, because in the end, system like Hotelkit or Apaleo has to also be enriched by data from other platforms, right? So this is basically the way to go. And obviously my suggestion to people which are listening to this live is don't be afraid to ask to your partner, don't be afraid to ask to your vendor how does it work, because this is really the future, and smoothing operation can cost something, but then life will be much easier on a daily task as well for your team, and in general for advancing into the innovation of the businesses. Good. So what is a typical going to live for, let's go this time to Uli, for a business that wants to start with Apaleo. So let's say that they're gonna go and they wanna have an integration with you. What's usually the process? How long it takes to go live?
So currently we have approximately 300 apps that are integrated fully with the platform, and they are all available on our store. So they can be seen online, they can actually be activated online by the hotels without our help. So that's all possible. But when a new app comes, actually it could be an existing app or a new app, so something which doesn't exist on the market yet. They go to our website, they register for an account, they immediately have an environment available where they have 5 hotels in a multi-property environment with demo data, and then they can start developing against that demo data. So essentially the full API documentation is there, they have a developer account, and then they can start developing, connecting their apps to Apaleo. So it's very easy, straightforward, there is no cost to it. And depending on the complexity of the apps, it can take anywhere from 24 hours to a few weeks. So I would say it's totally dependent on the app. So it's not dependent on us, because we don't need to make resources available. We do have, however, a department or a group of people that are specialized on integrations with Apaleo. So if for somebody, like a new channel manager comes and says, we want to integrate to Apaleo, this person can set up with our specialist an integration session of 1 hour where we guide those people through the integration process and explain how the different API calls work. However, it's not really necessary. I would say we have tons of people that actually do it without our integration specialists. The only point where we will become involved towards the end is a certification session, because obviously what you need is you need to make sure that whatever is integrated with the platform works correctly, it is being developed in the correct way, there is security there, because we pay a lot of attention to PCI, GDPR security, so all of that needs to be assured. But that session is available with our specialist anytime. It takes an hour, and then the system or the app is officially certified, and it it can go onto our app store with all of the marketing and the materials behind. But it is fully self-service. And now the fun part is that actually it cannot only be existing apps. Let's say you are a developer and you say, I have that great idea to create a new upsell system or a new revenue system or a new whatever system. You can actually do the same thing. And then you can develop your app on top of the Apaleo platform. So you can use all of the functionality, features, data, which is available with Apaleo, and then actually do your own developments. So what I want to say with this is that the way of how integrations can be done, the speed and the cost is radically reduced through that type of method.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, do not forget also that you have a great community portal where there is a lot of exchange. I mean, I'm part of it as well, because it's so nice to see how people can support each other and have similar cases, how I can develop some integration or tech stack called plug and play connectivity. And this regards the philosophy of Apaleo, right? It's very open source development environment. And Marius, to you, how much and how long it takes?
Yeah, like to be honest, our life is not as easy as the one from Uli and Apaleo because we have to build all those interfaces to different PMS systems, and there is still no unified standard. Yeah, like building an interface, a housekeeping interface to cloud-based system or API first system like Apaleo or Muse or however you want to call them, is pretty straightforward. I think Uli explained quite well how this is done most of the time. Like there is all the resources available, and we can build the interface. If there is software provider solutions out there, like Customer Alliance or other tools that want to connect to Hotelkit, and we are kind of like the leading software, then it's more or less the same. Like Uli explained, first of all, like we get on the call and we want to find out about the use cases that are intended to be built, and what is like the value that we are adding with this interface to our clients. And then we have also, or we provide like a demo environment and a extensive documentation of our API to our client. Then they build their software against ours as well. We have a certification session with them, certification call. It's totally depending on the complexity of the interface. Can take up to an hour, like where everything is tested. And then for the client, it's pretty straightforward. We also have a marketplace where they can inquire the interface, and with like straightforward interfaces, you just like exchange the API key, and then the hotel or the hotel employee can configure whatever is needed within our backend on their own. With a property management interface, there is a lot of data exchanged from rooms data to all the guest data, reservation data. As I've already said, like we have to build interfaces to various systems. Some of them are cloud-based, some of them are on-premise, different versions, legacy systems, very, very, very new ones. So there we take more time also with the client. After the interface is set up, we do also like a certification call where we once test again with this client all kind of use cases to like really make sure that the interface is working the way it is intended. It is way easier with platforms like Apaleo, and can be trickier with solutions that are on-premise based. But yeah, basically it is like that, very straightforward. You inquire through the marketplace, and then we like really help you and make sure that the interface is set up correctly and it works smoothly in the upcoming time.
Yeah.
And
So
I think, Luca, when you look at it, actually, for example, the connectivity between Marius and Hotelkit in Apaleo, one of the good things is that all apps that are connected to Apaleo have the same opportunity to use 100% of the API from the platform. And when we look at how Hotelkit did it, it is a very in-depth, deep integration. They are using a lot of functionality and features which are sitting in the platform. And I think this is kind of the most important piece of today's integrations and availability of APIs, that actually everybody can use 100% of the APIs to go as far as you want. So when you see the level of integrations for housekeeping systems, you have very basic ones, and then you have ones like Hotelkit, which went very far in how deep they integrate for their or our common customers. And I think that makes the difference, because in the end, it's the customer who will decide which app to use. And obviously, the better the integration works on a level, the better the use of the app is for the customer. So a lot of customers say, actually, I pick the apps that are most deeply integrated with the PMS platform.
Exactly. I mean, that's a good point. Just a matter of educational part for those which don't know what's an API, because we mentioned API multiple times. It's basically a connection between two systems where there is a transfer of data. So it's like we give a call to each other and we transfer some information. For those online that don't know what's an API, right? I mean, simple as that, but then of course it gets more technical.
Yeah, and one of the advantages of API, and especially API platform, is that it's not only an exchange of data. So it's important to be kept in mind that also all of the functionality and features that are sitting in the platform can be used by outside apps. So to give you an example, we have a very secure payment platform integrated in Apaleo. So for having a total seamless guest journey from A to Z, you can use actually our payment facilities that are sitting in the platform. So let's say you have a guest app which provides check-in and payment and checkout. You don't need actually to develop all of your own payment things. You can use what is sitting in the platform. So it's not only limited to exchanging data, it's also using the features and functionality which are sitting in the API platform that can actually be activated by apps, which is a huge advantage.
Exactly. We have actually two questions in our live, so people are starting to be interested in what we are talking about. I actually will combine both, because it all depends and in regards of training of the staff. So how you are training the staff of the hotels, and if these are available also in different languages or all in English. And this will come to the topic of simplicity, right? So how do we basically connect hotels, and now we make sure that the staff is actually properly using the integration, and how is the process going. So I will go for Huli, if you want to start, and how is an onboarding process look like for your PMS?
So we have a very structured onboarding process. We have a group of people that do nothing else than onboarding of properties and customers. And they set up different sessions with the hotels, where they actually guide them through the onboarding process and what needs to be done. At the same time, we have training courses available. Community provides training. But what the big advantage is, that anybody who creates an account on Apaleo, also from the hotel side, they can do this in self-service mode, and they can do anything up front. So from the moment they create an account and they don't have to use Apaleo, they can actually train themselves by doing anything they want in the platform itself. So you, as a hotel person, you could go to our website, create your account, and then you can go A to Z, from doing a reservation, doing a check-in, assigning a room, doing a checkout, connecting even apps that are on our store. So we believe very much in self-training and self-platform use, and it's all free of charge. So only the moment a hotel uses Apaleo in real time, they would start paying subscription. But the live training with real data and good data in a multi-property environment, I think that is what we most believe in. And formally, still today, for many PMSs, if you want to train them and onboard them, you need weeks and weeks and weeks to understand what the PMS is doing, you have to use the procedures and features and so on. We think a PMS platform today and user interface should be so easy, everybody can do it in a self-service mode.
Good. What about you, Marius?
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar what Apaleo is doing. We believe that yeah, it is essential to make sure, like at the beginning, when a client starts using Hotelkit, that we really train them to use the system right. Like what we did from the early days is that we are providing a 30 days free trial. So we enable all our clients to use Hotelkit free of charge at the beginning, but we put a lot of focus into this 30 days free trial. So we also have a dedicated onboarding team. Once you start the trial with Hotelkit, it's not self registration. Like we hold it, we are really like holding the hands of the hotel employees and the client to guide them through a very structured process. So you have a dedicated onboarder that takes care of you in this first weeks, and the first thing that we do is, for us, it's like always very important that we call it like champion at our client. Like there is someone like really responsible for the system. It shouldn't be the GM, because the GM has other things that he is taking care of. So most of the time it's front office manager or rooms reservations manager or operations manager. So a very operational role. And with this person, we do a champion training. So like really explaining and the system in depth, and also like do the configuration that is needed, especially for the hotel, because like we really try to have a good understanding of what they are looking with the implementation of Hotelkit. Where can we add value to the client? What are the pain points and the problems and challenges that they are facing? And then there is this champions training. Afterwards, there is like individual trainings with the employees, and it's not about you have to click here and then there. It's like, it's from the UI that we have. It's very like self-explanatory, but what we have seen is you need kind of a kickoff event, and we see like this employee training as a kickoff event, because afterwards we say, okay, now everyone within the team knows what Hotelkit is all about. What are the processes that they are focusing on in this 30 days free trial? And then you start working and actually using the system. So we found out that this is like very important for us to have a structured onboarding, and then a kind of kickoff event that starts with the 30 days. And then, they're using the system. They can all the time reach out to their dedicated onboarding person that helps them with all kind of things that they might need. There is like a reporting after a couple of days. So we tell them what are the features that they're using already very good, and where are like topics that they could improve. Addition to that, we have webinars offered. There is like tutorial videos, a help section, so all kind of information that one can need. But what we have seen is to like have this personal approach and guide them and holding their hand through the initial phase is has shown us very, very great success.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, we have also a great philosophy on onboarding, and especially the customer success team. How do we mention that in our company? We do usually also have a quick checkup of what's the tech stack available in that customer, because then obviously we believe in integration, and we know that the earliest information we get, that then we can also provide, hey, you have Hotelkit, then you should really use this integration. You have Apaleo, then you should automate the sending of the survey. So that's something that it's really important. So for all of those which are connected, we follow through the process. Also, after you sign a contract, we also bring you to the next level and grow together. This is a philosophy always that should be in innovation and technology. Talking about still data and how do we basically work, what's the future only of data, especially for PMS?
I think from our perspective, actually, the PMS should be the holder of some records of data. And the data we are looking at, which we are really strong at, is all of the transactional data. So everything which happens on a transactional basis will end up in the PMS and has to be very well handled by the PMS. So any availability, inventory, rates, prices, reservations, check-in, check-out, financial data, financial transactions, all of that needs to be very well maintained from a data perspective in the PMS, but also be available to the outside world, because obviously this transactional data later needs to be in the financial accounting system of the hotel group or the hotel. It needs to be transferred to a lot of apps and connected systems that are working with this. However, at the same time, I believe you can't be a specialist in every area. So we have lots of PMSs that say we are all in one PMSs, we are developing and holding all of these components, apps, modules ourselves. We have our own booking engine, our own kiosk, on our revenue management system, our own whatever, and they end up with maintaining tons of different apps and modules, and the clients are forced into that environment. We don't believe in this all-in-one approach at all. Our approach is to say we are doing well in the platform what a PMS, a lean PMS should really be doing as a transactional platform, but then other components should be sitting in other specialist areas. So for example, the area of CRM and loyalty. No PMS has ever been able to resolve the problem of profiles in the industry, because you have so many reservations coming through so many channels, creating so many different profiles. So we believe from the beginning that actually the PMS should be transactional data, and the CRM should be the specialist in guest data, loyalty data, profiles, and so on. And the best way of making that connection possible is if you allow the third parties to actually use 100% of the data which is sitting in the PMS, pull it out of the CMS, do your magic on profile merging and other things, and then send the relevant data back into the PMS platform. And I think that applies to many different areas. I still don't understand, despite having a lot of experience in hotel tech, how PMSs can believe they can do everything on their own. I think that's the wrong approach, and the customers should be given the freedom to say, we are putting our own tech stack together by a best of breed approach of very well integrated people, companies, apps that are all specialists in their own areas.
Yeah, agree. What about you, Marius? What's the future for operation tools?
Yeah, like I think like concerning data, I think Uli answered the question very well. I think this where is the location, or where sits the central profile? I think this is kind of a religious question, and there is like all kinds of different opinions about it. But I think the arguments that Uli brought up have their point. I'm quite happy that Hotelkit is kind of only this data enrichment platform. On the one side, on the other hand, like we are getting all the data, and then we transform them into actionable tasks and operational topics, and making sure that those people that actually need to take care of certain things are getting the information that is needed. I think this is what we are taking care of, and then property management system providers and CRM providers, they should discuss where the central guest data profile should be. This is not something that I want to that I need to solve, but yeah, I think Uli answered it very well.
Well, definitely Uli has a great overview in terms of transactional data, and also I mean, I agree there is a lot of topics around a central guest profile, a CDP, or we still believe at Customer Alliance that we always receive the offer, hey, do you want to be a CRM, hey, do you want to be a CDP, or whatever, because obviously we have that type of data that we could then tap into revenue, we could tap into other stuff, and make some magic happening. But as Uli and you, Marius, mentioned, like sometimes it's better to stay in your own field and do good and make it better what you are actually providing as a service. And I didn't want to bring up the topic, but AI is still there, and you can automate so much stuff today. And you can really create some crazy algorithm and some crazy features out of it. This, correct?
I think AI has to be considered in a much deeper way than just what you just mentioned, because when you look actually at the developments, you had old interface integrations, you had first APIs, you had API first, which is totally different, again, considered to API. And now you have what is called actually AI agents. So I don't think AI will be the solution to the problem, what many people are looking for, but it will be AI agents that will be taking over a lot of the features, functionality from what is out there to be done by apps. And AI agents, what they need is they actually need a good base platform to execute upon. So we are neither the specialists on AI, and we don't create AI within Apaleo. However, we make available that actually any AI agent can go to our platform and create whatever they want on top of the platform. There was some intermediate step, which was low-code, no-code systems. And there are still hundreds of automations which have been done by people that have no development experience with Apaleo and connected low-code, no-code platforms. And now they can actually go and now put this on the next level, which is AI agents. So anybody who's got knowledge or want to get into this, a lot of individual people, nerds in their rooms, they actually can now use those platforms to create their own AI agents. And AI agents will address certain topics and certain automations and certain areas only, which could be very small to very big. So let's say you just want to make sure one thing works very well with the PMS and all connected systems. That could be the merge of profiles. So somebody very smart could create an AI agent that does nothing else than active merging of profiles, nothing else. And that would be also a big, already a big plus for everybody who wants to use automation. But then it could go also to very, very small or big things within the AI agent. So we have a lot of fields where this will be kicking in, and it will be kicking in much faster than we all can imagine. We already see this today. So as I said, we are not creating our own AI apps, but we already have about 50 AI apps which are sitting in live environments with our hotel groups out there in the field. And ask me 6 months ago, I would have never imagined that it will go so fast. But the basis needs to be the open platform in order to enable that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's overall an overview of what's coming and what has been happening also in the hospitality industry, because there are a lot of merging, there are a lot of chainification, how we call it. So it's a constant evolving business, and it's still a tourism industry where there is a lot of I would say investment, but also attention. And coming back to this, just to wrap as well the part of, in the end, it's easy now, it's not costly as much as before. However, there are still hoteliers out there and brands and businesses, when it comes to integrating something and when it comes to choose the right solution, they still prefer sometimes to go for a cheaper solution or an easier way to get a solution to that. And then they end up with not having what they were looking for. So what is your recommendation when it comes to choosing the right solution, and how prepare for that type of scenario, right? So to not go too fast, but actually collect the right information and see what's the right business, what's the right software for you.
Marius, you want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's just it's a general decision that a hotelier or anyone is doing. Are you going for quantity or quality? And I think quality might be costly at the beginning, but I think in the long run, it absolutely pays out because there is there might be lack of support. Without making money, you cannot support your clients the way, for example, we do it. This comes with the price, but this quality, it costs something and is important. So I think it's a decision that one really needs to consider deeply upfront. Have a look on on your own tech stack. What is your vision? Where do you want to go with your company and with your processes? How do you like see yourself in the future? And what is the partner that you want to choose to go along with you? Because like if you decide for a tech stack, it is, you know, with a lot of, it's not only the costs that you have to pay, but it's the onboarding of the employees. It's like the making sure that they understand the software, thinking about what are like the processes that we want to solve, the challenges that we want to solve. So there's a lot of time invested, and I think when you have a look at all these factors, those costs that come along are not the defining ones. So I would like propose and encourage everyone to go for quality, have a look and talk to your fellow colleagues about their experiences, and then choose wisely.
What's your take, Uli, on this? We lost Uli. Okay. Let's continue then with the with this dialogue about how we make sure that the prospect, obviously, or the customer, because in this case sometimes customers also have the same tools, but they don't know that there is a connection, right? So to educate them. And I want to ask you, Marius, what are the future developments that you are most excited in your roadmap for the future? So what's coming next from Hotelkit? I mean, we know that you rebranded, so that's fine. We know that we can all meet at ITB, but what's coming next? So what's a good feature that your customer will see?
Yeah, so like from the beginning, for us it was like always important to have everything around employees and their daily challenges that they are struggling within their hotel in their daily life. So basically, what we are always doing is like to listen to our clients and find out how we can help them and add value to their business. And a big thing that came around in the last couple of months is facility management. Hotels are huge buildings. One of our most used tools is actually repair jobs and handling repair jobs and like making sure when everything is broken down to fix the problem. And it certainly makes sense to have a planned preventive maintenance schedule in place to make sure that all those things are not breaking down. This saves a lot of costs. And so our newest addition, the newest product that we're offering is towards facility management. So you can have all your assets in one single platform. There is like the whole asset inventory with all information that one needs. And then you can like schedule all your planned preventive maintenance tasks. So really make sure that your equipment is in perfect shape. This helps you with cost savings in the future.
And I would actually go a step further. I would say, when you look at what's possible and necessary, I would say, don't believe in demos anymore. Just don't believe in PowerPoints, demos. I would suggest to any hotel or hotel chain in the world, make sure that whoever you talk to, you can try everything out in a live environment in a self-service mode. So we motivate people to say, create your own account, try everything out, connect app, disconnect apps, try different hotels with different modules and components. All of that should be possible, because whatever people tell you in presentations or demos or PowerPoints, if you can't do it in a live environment without any cost and easy, then it shouldn't be today's world, today's technology.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we lost you for a bit, Uli, where we were talking about exactly this. I mean, no more headaches, no more manual upload of data, no more Google Sheet or Excel formulas. I mean, there are tools out there which can integrate, that can easily make life with one click away from your report or from your operational side. Last question before we wrap up the live, and it's more like regarding what's your take on, on tech trends that hoteliers should be prepared for the future? Uli, you go first.
Sure. I think what will happen, what will continue to happen, we will see more and more innovative people coming onto the market, putting new ideas out there, new components, new models that need to be connected to different platforms.
Oh. I think we lost.
Yeah, so I guess that Uli was like talking a lot about open platforms and interconnectability. I think this is something that is already here on the market and will be a big trend also in the future. Like we touched it a little bit. I think AI is all around, and you see more and more hospitality technology providers using and enriching their solutions, bringing AI to the hospitality industry and to hotels. And I think this is interesting trends coming up, and I think AI will absolutely change a lot within the industry. It's unbelievable fast, like how things are changing. I see it in my own company, like how we are using AI in all different departments. And as a tech company, I think you're like one step ahead of a typical hotel. But I think that hotels shouldn't be worrying too much about it. I'm pretty sure that, those technology partners that they have chosen, they will make sure to enrich their possibilities and their technology with AI, and by that bring it to hotels. And I think this is going to be amazing times ahead with a lot of possible cool use cases, helping hotels and hoteliers to be way more efficient, and helps them with profitability at the end.
Yeah, I mean, we see this every day as well, because we experiment new things with customers, and also customers actually give us a lot of feedback regarding like how they use data, what they would like to see, right? So this is very important for us always to do an exchange of what they expect to see in platform, and especially with integrated partners. So in the end, sometimes it's too scary to see in integration and to see other tools, but in the end, what I always say is like, let's asking doesn't cost anything, and also company like us are basically there to give information. And as Uli said, don't ask for demo presentation, just go there, make your hands into the topic, test it. In the end, we are not talking about buying a house, right? We are talking about a software. It's a very good investment in terms of operation, and then you can connect and make your life easier. Uli, you were interrupted, so you can finish with the things you were saying about the PMS and the hospitality tech trends.
Yeah, and so the other trend we are seeing is that a lot of people that don't have development knowledge, so people that are working in hotels, they actually start using what we call low-code, no-code platforms. So those low-code, no-code platforms allow any hotelier actually to customize procedures, processes, do automations without having programming or development knowledge. And you mentioned it before, we have a great community. So we have lots of people that actually event things on the platform, which they then share with the community. So there is somebody coming and say, how can I send exactly 24 hours before the arrival of a guest an email with this text and a payment link, secure payment link to the customer, and make sure he pays, otherwise the reservations get cancelled. And this type of event, there are thousands of things available which actually make the life of a hotelier easier by using those low-code, no-code platforms without having any programming or development knowledge. So that was the next step. And the further step will be those AI apps and AI agents sitting on top of those platforms, doing lots of other things, chatbots, whatever you can imagine.
Great. So to wrap the meeting, easy to connect, not as much expensive as it was 10 years ago. All the support and availability in languages for the people interested in know that. So I would say that we invite everyone, for those which are coming to ITB in Berlin in 1 month to visit our stands, have a chat with the teams there, meet and see with your own eyes the technology and how do we integrate each other. Feel free, don't be afraid to ask, because the teams and the companies are there to support you to make life easier. And why not save some time to then enjoy more some human experience, right? Because we are here to bring technology and to give back some human time for those which are still working in hospitality, because in the end it's still about relationship, correct?
Absolutely, yes. So
Absolutely.
happy to see lots of people on ITB in Berlin.
See you around in Berlin.
So I want to thank you again, Uli and Marius, both of you, and also your company preparing the events and of course all the marketing behind. We at Customer Alliance are very happy to host this. I was actually very happy. Adam was a little bit more nervous for marketing, but no worries, we make his life easier. Hope you enjoyed to be here today, and also for those which are connected. And in this regard, I will say we see us in the next LinkedIn Live event from Customer Alliance.
Super. Thanks so much, Luca. Bye, Marius.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.